Thank you for joining us for this brief study in balance and wellness as represented in the 8 quadrants of human intentions. Each of these areas represents a basic human need for intentional input, and balancing these areas can add to a full, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle. Let's study each of these areas individually, and especially if you are experiencing difficulties in your life, question if you are investing enough of your time and energy in these areas. If not, kindly consider adding some activities that interest and are obtainable for you. Often in life, people become hyper-focused in specific areas and are unaware of the long-term effects of personal neglect. Using this chart can help many people return to a healthier state even before they come into difficulties, simply by making it their intention to stay well. Starting out near the top of our chart, emotional wellness is often the first thing neglected for many humans, so it's an effective place to begin. Are you familiar with the expression, "You are only as sick as your secrets"? Clinically speaking, this is true for all humans. Unexpressed thoughts and emotions cause internal fatigue and unrest and can halt other aspects of our lives as well. Having safe, caring, and accepting people to speak to is a key component of human life because we are all interconnected. A feeling of disconnectedness is common when life's challenges and losses consume our thoughts, and for this reason it is important to find an outlet for our expression. Ask yourself if any of these self-care activities could benefit you. Journaling, seeing a therapist or a licensed psychologist, seeing a guidance counselor, peer support specialists, 12-step recovery, religious and faith-based support, teachers or professors, social media support groups, special interest groups, and advocacy. Each of these options may apply to everyone differently and at different times in their lives. It is important to remind ourselves that no one is coming to save us, but resources and safe people are available when we are ready to simply ask for help. It's also important to learn how to express ourselves quickly and honestly in daily life to maintain a sense of self-respect. Emotional expression also includes all forms of art and entertainment, so if you feel that your creative needs need to be expressed, also consider adding painting, sculpting, creative writing, poetry, blogging and social media, drawing, crafting, scrapbooking, and art appreciation. Now let's return to the chart for the second area of wellness, our physical care. Physical care consists of 3 main areas: exercise, rest, plus nutrition and diet. Most adults are aware that what we consume, the quality of our rest, and effectiveness of our exercise are important parts of life. Yet each are easy to neglect because there is so much in life to keep us distracted. Being realistic about self-care means understanding that the rewards come sometime after our efforts, and growth is a lesson in patience if we are emotionally struggling with change. People often give up before they begin because their current mindset, there is not enough inspiration available to start. To help improve your physical state in small, reliable stages, we suggest the following corrective activities, thoughts, and practice. Set small goals. Keep low and achievable expectations of your progress. Learn to emotionally accept your current state and avoid all sources of shame. Increase your chances for nutrition by thanking yourself each time you make a healthy dining choice. Look for small opportunities to add a form of exercise. Example, helping a neighbor with groceries or trash. Choose similar yet healthier replacements for long-term habits and addictions. Find emotional support for change and understand many people may resist your change because they are comfortable with where you are now. Schedule time for meditation and additional sleep when overworked or fatigued. Increase physical activity by combining with other interests such as biking in nature while sightseeing. Become willing to make new friends interested in similar activities. Learn to choose meals where flavor is increased with spices and use less of the commonly addictive substances, including sugars, salts, fats, and carbohydrates. Sociocultural. Like each of the areas of wellness, our sociocultural dimension has roots in other parts of our lives as well. One example, emotional wellness can be increased by improving the quality of communication in our relationships. This in turn may increase our level of physical activity and create financial opportunities as well. The sociocultural area of wellness focuses mainly on the quality and health of our interconnectedness with others and is related to all forms of relationships, including work, home, school, and even random encounters. Relationship-based problems often have to deal with either a lack of validation or a lack of effective communication skills. Also, a great deal of human interaction has to do with understanding and accepting the differences in personal values. Learning to understand and apply some of the universal truths of life is a helpful way to increase the health of our relationships. To improve the quality of your relationships, we suggest considering the following truths. An expectation is a resentment waiting to happen. This means that many times people expect others to share their values and we simply forget that they do not, and they're not supposed to either. Personal values are shared by people of similar life experiences, and in truth, we can make ourselves very sick imagining that other people need to share our values. Learning to accept others, even if their beliefs make us uncomfortable, is an adaptive way to deal with differences in personal values. In short, when we expect nothing, we are never hurt or disappointed. The law of mirrors. We only see that which is within ourselves. This universal truth is also painful to comprehend, but needed in order to clear our thoughts of negativity about ourselves and other people. The law of mirrors explains that as humans we are only capable of seeing ourselves and other people, both the positive and negative qualities. This means what we see is not always true for them, but it is true for us. So the way we see others, and in fact the way we interpret the entire world, is a reflection of our inner reality and limited by our perception of life. Learning to see ourselves and other people without the need for judgment causes a major shift in consciousness and improves relationships with other people in all situations. If we can imagine an equal sign between ourselves and every other living thing, it does a great deal to add to the quality of our thoughts and appreciation for the differences in other people. The only approval you need is your own. This is not to suggest that it is encouraged to be self-serving or closed-minded. Approval seeking is taking empathy too far, and often we can lose ourselves waiting for others to change or give us the attention we need to be giving to ourselves. Learning to become self-sufficient and authentic in all situations is a matter of making self-care a priority so we can be useful to others without harming ourselves in the process. We are only as sick as our secrets. This is true of both positive and negative secrets. Having something trapped in our thoughts for prolonged periods of time causes deep unrest in humans, and yet many of us never discuss the thoughts, feelings, and experiences that are troubling us. There are many resources available today, from professional therapy to joining small support groups. Become aware that effective communication is a basic human need, and that once we find someone safe to talk to, it's a tremendous relief to be heard and understood. Safe is a relative term, and that is why professionals trained in dealing with the effects of deeper issues may be the best support for many situations. However, there's also a variety of support available from people who have life experience in dealing with similar or like conditions. Moving on to the next area of the chart, financial wellness. Money, power, and accumulation of possessions is a common source of stress and imbalance in life. Whether we have too much or too little, the more personal value we place on material things, the more distant we become from other parts of our lives, which are enriching and less dependent on material expense. Learning to place finances in their proper perspective is often a practice in gratitude and appreciation. It would be normal to think that making more money would be the answer for most financial issues. However, the opposite is often true. Human societies are built on commerce, and we are conditioned to believe that material wealth and power is the measure of a person's success. Yet this belief causes a side effect, the condition known as greed. Greed affects everyone in some manner, either with a constant sense of lacking, or on the other side of the spectrum, an unlimited desire to hoard. It may be surprising to learn that the cure for both conditions are experiencing gratitude. Gratitude is the opposite of greed. Instead of longing for more, we learn to appreciate what we have already and even the things we've lost. Expressing gratitude in prayer or gesture is also a powerful action for change. Remembering to be thankful and to show others appreciation is a magnet for positive experiences. And giving to others when we have more than we need is what allows society to care for those who are unable to care effectively for themselves. Next on the chart, we recognize the area of environmental wellness. This is one of the last things that crosses a person's mind as an area that requires attention. This is primarily because the effects of our environment are more of a subconscious experience, and we are often unaware of how much of a difference it can make until we experience a drastic change. Many humans spend the majority of their waking hours in thought and dedicate very little attention to their surroundings unless it's directly related to their activity or occupation. To help create more positive experiences with environmental change, the following practices are suggested. Make a list of the different places where you spend time, from most to least, then rate them based on how you feel about yourself when you focus on that environment. Any places where you feel uncomfortable, ask yourself, is there any changes that you can make to improve that environment for yourself? Make it a point to experience several different types of environment, whatever is available to you. Mix your activities between indoor and outdoor. Become willing and prepared to leave environments that are causing you harm. Make it a point to clean and maintain your surroundings, removing messes as they happen. Practice minimalism. Go through your possessions often and become willing to part with the things you honestly do not need, want, or appreciate anymore. Experience a variety by making it a point to travel, visit museums, and experience different cultures. Remember to open windows and doors for fresh air and consider plants wherever possible. Next on the chart is occupational wellness. This is more than the work we do to earn an income, but also how we occupy our time in general and can be represented in each of the areas of wellness. Often people become stuck in a loop of common behaviors that are not complete or satisfying. To help determine the health and balance of how you occupy your time, ask yourself the following questions. Is there a pattern to how you spend your time? Are you spending too much time in one area of your life and not enough in others? Is the way you occupy your time harming you or other people? Are you experiencing job satisfaction? Do you feel challenged at work? If not, is there some other way you can challenge yourself to offset the comfort of your workplace? Can you accept your current income level? If not, are you willing to accept more education to increase your pay rate? Do you spend enough time helping or encouraging other people without expecting anything in return? Do you plan your meals or just eat whatever is available? Do you make time for prayer, meditation, or expressing gratitude? Are you happy with how clean and maintained your environment is? Do you continue to learn new things just for the enjoyment of learning and challenging yourself? Do you make time to express your emotions and concerns effectively with others? Are your emotional needs getting met? Do you feel that you have enough relationships, and are you happy with the quality of these relationships? Are you spending enough time in nature? Is there enough physical activity in your life? Recognizing our shortcomings is the first step to making personal change. It means we become willing to surrender an old behavior and replace it with a new one. Every human experiences just 24 hours a day, and the way we use this time has a direct impact on our overall wellness. And now moving on to spiritual wellness. This is likely the most misunderstood part of our human experience. It is the invisible and abstract part of life that is best explained with emotions and activities associated with spiritual experiences. The spirit or consciousness of a human is described as the indestructible part and is represented as life and awareness. The two more notable spiritual qualities in humans are honesty and self-awareness, although empathy and compassion are often the result of both. Spiritual experiences give us a sense of being connected to something larger or more powerful and create a feeling of awe. Ask yourself the following questions to determine the health of your relationship with life. Do you have a sense of community and feel safe with certain groups of people? Are you able to be honest and authentic most of the time? Are you comfortable admitting when you've made a mistake? Do you enjoy community service work? Do you take the time to wonder what it all means and what your place in the universe is? Do you feel like you're being part of something larger than yourself? Do you benefit from prayer and/or meditation? Do you experience a sense of awe? Is there anything that makes you feel childlike and humble? Can you accept that all people are equal and treat others with respect? Are you generous when you have more than you need in life? Do you feel a connection to all of life and nature? Are you mindful of how your behaviors affect others in the world at large? Are your thoughts always racing, or can you slow down and enjoy life? Have you ever experienced a spiritual awakening, and how has that changed your life? Do you understand the difference between your ego and spirit? It is difficult to understand the benefits of having a deeper connection with life until the effort is made to experience and develop it. The spiritual dimension of life is often humbling and reminds us how we depend on each other for the survival of all, and no one person is ever completely without help from others. Experiencing gratitude for the present moment and being thankful for the small things in life helps us balance the logic, will, and desires of ego, and can make life more manageable. And finally, intellectual wellness. It is often connected to our emotional wellness through the values and beliefs we hold about life. It is more than receiving an education. It is about continually remaining open to new information and understanding. There are very few things that are true for all people in all circumstances, and understanding how emotional attachments can create suffering in our lives is an exercise in developing a healthy relationship with our ego. Ego is logic, will, and desire, and can keep us blind to the truth with the very common state known as denial. Most, if not all humans, are in denial about some great truth because none of us can know all of the truth. Challenge yourself with the following questions about your intellectual health. Do you enjoy spending time reading? Are you interested in new things that do not involve you? Will you listen to an opposing opinion with an open mind? Does it hurt your feelings when someone challenges your beliefs? Do you become defensive when someone suggests you are wrong? Are you willing to change a belief to one that helps you feel better about life? Do you ever seek knowledge in books, videos, documentaries, or personal research? When you ask people questions, do you listen carefully to their answers? Are you always right? Is that even possible? Do you understand a formal education is only one way to learn? Do you recognize education and intelligence are different qualities? Are you willing to ask questions when you do not understand something? Life can be challenging even when we are not learning. However, maintaining a healthy lifestyle means we need to remain teachable and accept the things that we grew up with will not always remain true. Being willing to learn and adapt with life's ever-changing circumstances is a cornerstone of our personal growth and the first step to any form of improvement.